Hey y'all, how you doing? So it's really not that hard to obey y'all. It's really not. It's not hard to obey someone you say that you love and that you worship and that you give all praise to. It's not hard to obey someone that you claim as the Most High, who sent his one and only son to die for you and to live your life for him. It's not hard to live according to what he has told you to do if you really do claim him. But we have a lot of people who are more like Pharisees in this day and age, unfortunately. A lot of people are like the Pharisees. You go and do your little practice and you do little things that you think say that you love him, yet your heart is far from him because you continue to rebel. And I'm talking about this particular aspect in reference to Christmas. You can think what you want about Christmas. You can believe whatever you want. You know how people argue with me all the time, and just a few minutes ago, Christmas in and of itself is rooted in false god worship. You can research the origins. You can look up the roots of it and where it came from. It literally has nothing to do with the God of the Bible. It has nothing to do with Yahuwah. It has nothing to do with Yahusha, the Messiah. That's why you literally find it nowhere within Scripture. Literally nowhere. None of these pagan man-made traditions do you find within there because it has nothing to do with Christ or Yah. It has nothing to do with them. If it's not in the word, who is man to go and say, I'm going to take this and make this about Christ when it's really not? You can do your research. Christmas is rooted in false god worship. It came from the Roman Catholic Church. They took pagan practices that are rooted in false god worship, how they worship their gods and their deities, and they try to slap the name Christ on it. They try to Christianize it or biblicalize it. They try to make it a biblical Yah thing, but it's not. He specifically says in Deuteronomy 12:29-32, do not take the way of the pagans and worship me and how they worship their gods. Do not worship me in that way. Do not associate me with evil. Do not associate good with evil. If Yah is far from that, he specifically says not to do it. Who are you to disagree? Who are you to disobey? Sure, you can decide with your own free will to rebel, to not do as he says. You can do what you want because yes, Yah gives us all free will. But to sit and argue as if your opinions change his instructions is ignorance. It's pure ignorance, and you don't have a right to act like your opinion override and supersedes the instructions of the Most High. And if you're really a follower of his and you really want to submit to him and surrender to him and live a life in accordance to him, his word, and be obedient to him, then you will dust your hands off with these pagan man-made traditions, and you will choose to submit to him wholeheartedly. I don't care what you grew up on. I grew up on it too, but it literally has nothing to do with him. He says do not associate himself with it. This is easily understood, but it feels like I talk in circles around you people. It's the same people every year. Like look, it's one thing if you don't know the truth, and that's word too, but once the truth has been revealed to you and you still choose to rebel, it's worse for you. If you don't know and you literally do not know, you're just ignorant to the truth, you're not held accountable. But once you are held accountable for your doings. When you know the truth and you still continue to rebel, you are held accountable. This is word. This is Bible. This is Yah instruction. But so many people argue, or people bring up, for example, well, what about this? This was made by pagans. Pagans created this. Or what about the ring, right? A wedding ring, right? Wedding rings were created by pagans. It was a pagan thing. A lot of the things in this world were created by pagans. But here's the significant difference. Does wearing a wedding ring, is it rooted in false god worship? And are you wearing that wedding ring as a symbolism of you trying to worship Yah? That's the difference. So it doesn't matter what a pagan made. The key factors, is it not just pagan? It could be pagan and be fine, but is it a tradition that's rooted in false god worship? And are you taking that tradition, that pagan thing, and saying that I'm trying to worship Yah in this way? You are not. By wearing a wedding ring, that is not one and the same. There's a significant difference in that. And I don't know why that continues to be an argument amongst people, or why people do not understand that. He mentioned cats. Well, somebody had cats and it was a symbol of this, a symbol of that. I don't care what it was a symbol of. So, and then he was saying, okay, so because I own a cat, does that mean I do witchcraft? Now, no, Again, you could wear a ring. Yes, a pagan made a ring, but if it's not rooted in false god worship, that's not why the very thing was created, then there's no harm, no foul, right? But that's directly what Christmas is. It is pagan customs, pagan traditions and practices, all of it, every single ounce of it. You can do your research, you can look up the origins and see that it's rooted in false god worship. And again, and again, in Deuteronomy 12:29-32, Yah says, do not take their practices and how they worship their gods and worship me in that same way. He tells you this. He specifically tells you this. But so many continue to rebel and disobey. And it's so baffling to me. Like, if you really had the Spirit, yes, I'm going there, the Spirit would check you about the holidays. You won't just look at these holidays and ignore what people are telling you sound truth, such as what I just told you, and choose to ignore it. When you really want to live according to Yah, He will give you that conviction in your spirit, and you should have it, because it's nowhere rooted in Yah at all. If it's not found within the Bible, how are you going to take it and say this is it? But we would do this at a celebration of Christ. That's not where it originated from. You could say that, but it's only because you're walking in ignorance and you don't know any better. And I understand I didn't know any better once upon a time either. But once truth is presented to me, I'm quick to do my research on stuff. A lot of people just don't want to be challenged on what they believe. Oh, I grew up celebrating. Well, so did I. But when I started hearing this truth, I was like, what are they talking about? Like, what do they mean? Like, the saying about Christ, or, and then I looked it up, and literally as soon as I found out the truth, I didn't go back and forth and fight with y'all about it. I didn't fight with the truth. I took the truth and was like, all right, well, dusted off my hands with it. And I literally walked away. It is really all that simple and all that easy. If you really want to surrender, submit to the Most High. But so many of you want your customs and your practices and everything else. Like, I hear people say, oh, well, I believe what I believe. But what do you mean you believe what you believe? You've never looked it up. You just grew up doing it, so you continue to do it because you grew up doing it. You don't challenge or question the things that you do. You don't even know why you do it. My family did this. So what? My family did it too. And if I have to be the outcast around the holidays, that's fine. I don't care. It's not a big deal to me, because my relationship with y'all is more important than any other relationship in this world. And it will always come before any person, place, or thing. Any relationship, any friendship, any pagan practice, anything. I put Him above me. I put Him before me, because He is above and before me. I surrender and submit to Him. So you're not about to find me arguing or trying to defend walking in rebellion. You will never find me trying to defend walking in sin. You will never see me trying to defend why I could have done something. And you're never going to hear me say, well, we all sin. Well, y'all sin. That will never be an excuse to go and rebel. It is never a cop-out to sit and say, or even the phrase, only God can judge me. Yeah, only God can judge you. I mean, we judge people left and right. We judge people all day long. We judge people in just thought alone, whether we say it or verbalize it or not. And no judgment in and of itself is not bad, because even Yah says to judge with righteous judgment and to judge the church and protect it from defilement. Forget judging those outside of the church, because guess what? They're outside of the church. Like, they don't know any better. So there's no point when you judge them. They don't know Him. But He says to judge the church and protect the church from defilement, to judge with righteous judgment, not by appearance, not by outside exterior, but on the inside, the heart, and the things that people are doing. That is how you are supposed to judge. We all make snap judgments, just like a rapist. If he goes and rapes a woman, we call him a rapist. We say it's bad, it's wrong, it's evil, right? That is judgment. And again, we all make judgments, but are we judging according to Yah's word and what He says and what He requires of us? You can sit all day long and argue what you think the holidays are, or why you say you do it. But at the end of the day, if it's rooted in false God worship, you're supposed to walk away from it. Y'all, it's really not that hard to want to live a life that's pleasing to the Most High. You just have to want that above any and all things. And that's why I've always been receptive of truth. I'm not the person who gets mad and wants to fight because I've been challenged on something that I thought or believed. No, I grow. Like, if I take it and be like, what? Even if it sounds crazy to me, I'm like, yo, that sounds crazy as all get out. But what are they talking about? There's got to be something there. Like, where are they getting this? And then I do my research. And if I find it's true, okay, I fall in alignment with what Yah has told me to do. But for y'all out here trying to argue or, argue these certain things within yourself and with your life and why you feel like you should be able to do it, if it goes according to His word and you're claiming to be a follower of His, who are you truly following? Are you truly following Him? Or are you following your flesh? Are you submitting to Yah? Are you submitting to your flesh and your desires and your practices and your customs, your festivities, right? Because a lot of people don't want to let go of these things that they know are wrong, that they've been proven to be wrong because, oh, it's fun and it's festive. I get all of that, y'all. I get it. But this isn't about what your desire to do. Your flesh is always going to desire things that feel good to you. Yes, walking away from these things, you're not going to feel great about it first. I mean, heck, I didn't feel a whole lot of anything when I walked out. I just forget it. I argued with a couple of family members about it because they weren't, in one accord with how I felt. And I had to get there. I had to go there with them to the point of tears. Look, don't you ever in your life come for my relationship with Yah. Don't you ever in your life. And if you got an issue with my beliefs and the way I continue to walk in obedience to him, and I'm trying to surrender, submit to him and be on that straight and that narrow, if you have a problem with that, me and my relationship with Yah, then we don't ever have to have a conversation ever again in this life. Y'all, and I knew I loved Yah that day when I had to have that conversation. I already knew I loved Yah. But to have that conversation and the fire be in my eyes, a look of fire in my eyes, I was so angry. Righteous indignation. Talk about righteous indignation. I was so angry for him. And then, for this family member coming at me. But when I said that with a look of fire in my eyes, I know that look was in my eyes. I wasn't looking in the mirror when I said I was looking at this person face to face, but I felt the fire on me. I felt the heat and the tears just rolled down my face. So for that moment to have courage and knowing that I meant every single ounce of what I said, that I was literally willing to cut off this family member for the rest of my life, somebody who I love so much, someone I hold near and dear and have a really great relationship with, to know that I was really willing to cut this person off forever for him, it told me so much in that moment. At the end of the day, he is it. And no relationship, I don't care, no relationship, no person, place, or thing will ever come above my relationship with him. And that's where we got to get at with this place. Forget being like you being a Pharisee and you doing all these different things and you're saying, oh, you love Yah, but yet your heart is far from him. And he knows the truth, and he getting tired of you making excuses for why you won't do what's blatantly been made clear to you. Stop worshiping these pagan practices, y'all. Stop worshiping. I'm no better than you. For you people who think, oh, I'm holier than thou just because I'm challenging you and I'm speaking the truth that you don't like. But if you really love Yah, you will surrender and submit to him and let all these other things, these worldly stuff fall to the wayside, all right? So I say this. I'm challenging you in this because I want to see you grow and I want to see you evolve. I want to see you closer to Yah. Why would you not? And I'm being that obedient servant. Yes, guess what? I lose friends all the time. I lose acquaintances, social media friends because I speak the truth. And sometimes it ruffles some feathers and people don't like it. But at the end of the day, if I'm not disrespecting you and I'm surrendering, I'm doing what he wants me to do. If it doesn't matter if you don't like it, I'm going to continue to be that bold person that he wants me to be, to speak that truth for him. Because people need the truth and we need to be woken up to this, right? People are talking about, oh, you woke, but you still partaking in things that's so far from him. And the whole time he's looking at you like, well, I told you what I told you. Like you say you want to surrender, submit to me, and you want to be a part of the kingdom, and you want my blessings, and you want my hand and my provision within your life, but you don't want to submit to me. So make that make sense. You want me to scratch your back, but you're not willing to scratch mine. You want me to do it for you, but you're not willing to surrender or submit to me. And I'm the one who made you. I'm the one that gave you this life. I'm the one that gave you this job. I'm the one that gave you this relationship. I'm the one that gave you that car. I'm the one that gave you life and continue to keep that life within your body. I'm the one that continues to keep you breathing day in and day out. But you don't want to surrender and submit to me, and you want me to bless you? Huh? It doesn't work like that, y'all. So I say all of this to challenge you in love. I come to you with love. I say this in love. Sometimes love comes at you with the cold hard truth. Sometimes love means ruffling your feathers. But if I gotta be a little hard on you to get the truth through to you, then I will do that. I don't mind being that person because I'd rather love you with the truth than comfort you with a lie. And there's nothing worth being outside the will of Yah. All right. So be encouraged by this and let this mentor to your spirit. I come with peace and I come in love. But you need to know, and some of y'all just really need to be roughed up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, that's the type of preaching and the type of testimonies and stories that really spoke to my spirit. People who socked it to me real raw and uncut, just straight with no chaser, and just gave it to me raw. I grow from people like that, not from people comforting me in my sin, pat me on my back, treat me like a child, tell me I'm gonna be okay. That doesn't strengthen you in this world. And in this world, at the end of the day, just merely off that fact alone, you can't survive, make it in this world with a weak backbone. All right, so it's time to strengthen up. Kurt, put your armor on, put on the full armor, y'all. Put your big girl pants on, your big boy pants on, and tighten up, y'all, because we got work to do. And y'all said what he said. He is clear, and he is holding us accountable in this day. All right, word of encouragement. Thank you for listening. Take care.